Some people find that after having a stroke, they are more prone to falling, and this may be because their balance has been affected, their mobility is reduced, or they may have problems with their vision. All of those could lead to a fall.
I've had a lot of falls since I've had my stroke. They're not as common now, but they used to be really bad. I used to fall all the time and scrape myself, especially in primary school when you're trying to do what everyone else is doing. Everyone used to do racing all the time. And it got to the point where I sort of limited myself, and I said to myself, I'm not going to race because every time I race, I'm hurting myself and I'm falling down.
I still fall daily. I try to keep my falls to within the house, where I land on carpet, and like before, where I was landed on gardens, walls, and so on and so forth. You know.
The first one I remember, I was in hospital. One of the nurses took me to the bathroom, went to the toilet, and then I went to stand up, and I'd forgotten I'd had the stroke, and I went to stand up on my affected leg, and of course it let me down. And I'd just forgotten all about it, because I hadn't really been out of bed.
Sometimes, if you have a stroke in a certain area of your brain, called the cerebellum, that causes you to have balance problems.
The reason I fell is because due to the stroke, I have foot drop, and what that does is I can't plan to flex my foot, lift it up as I once could. I've done a lot of strengthening on it and a lot of exercises and mobility exercises to help me get there, which is why it's not as bad now.
One day I was just I just left the house, and I had 2 sticks, and I was making my way to my car to go to work, and I don't know, I just had a speed wobble is the way I would put it, and I was falling, and I literally put my hand out to save myself from falling. But what happened was I fell, but I didn't fall far. I bent my hand back and fractured the scaphoid.
Falling over after a stroke can greatly reduce someone's confidence, and they may have a broken hip or a broken bone, and it may greatly hinder their stroke recovery. If you wish to go to a falls clinic, you may want to go and talk to your GP, or your occupational therapist or physiotherapist can refer you to a falls clinic, and there should be one within your NHS trust.
I'm not too concerned about falling now because I've got into sport a lot. So if I was concerned about falling, I'll be limiting myself to what I can do. And sometimes when I do exercises in my garden, I'll jump from here to here to there, and I do get the occasional fear. I think I get it more than other people, but when I first started out, I had to think about it a lot, and I still get that thought in my head: will I make it? Will I hit my knee on the ledge? Will I cut myself? Do I really want to risk it? But then I just go and do it. And then when I do it, I'm really satisfied and I feel, all right, I can do it. And that pushes me to do other things.
Every stroke survivor worries about falling, because very often, once you fall, you can't always get back up again.
I'm worried more about falling now than I have been. I think I've strived so far forward to get to a point that I'd hate to think that a fall would set me right back, or even cause me an injury to a point where I'm back to square one.
If you are worried about falling, talk to your physiotherapist. Think about having a piece of equipment that can help you with your balance, such as a walking stick or a walking frame. Think about things at home, trailing wires, rugs that you might trip over, the shoes that you wear, do they fit you properly? Are you walking around in slippers that are ill-fitting? So there are things that you can do yourself to help reduce your risk.
Be sensible. Don't put yourself at risk of falling at all. If you think the road or the path you're going to walk on is not flat enough, just get somebody to walk with you. That's what I do. I always have, if I'm outside, I always have somebody walking with me.
To prevent a fall, I would say take your time. You know, I've said in the past that the life is a gentle stroll now, not a marathon. It's not a 100-meter dash, and you might think you can overstep your boundaries, but if you are going to try to overstep your boundaries, try to do it in a controlled manner or whatever. You know? Just take your time.